We are live. GM, fellas. How are you all doing? It's a Friday evening at 6:10 p.m. here in Los Angeles. Jason, you can unshare your screen. You don't need to anymore. Jason was just sharing his Disney pinnacle trading with me because I didn't entirely understand what it was.
Hey,
It's good.
quick question, Tom, for you and everyone in the chat. Dude just sent me $750 to my Venmo account. I see it in there right now. Is there any chance that it's a scam and I'm going to send him these 3 pins and then I'm going to get fucked out of this money? Because I'm looking at the account.
Transaction or a business transaction?
How do I tell?
Did you get charged anything? Like, did he send 700 and they take out a little fee or not?
He sent 750 and 750 came through.
You should be okay. Venmo doesn't have a lot of authority to take back money because I had an old renter who got his phone stolen and someone was going around asking everyone to Venmo him money saying, I'm lost. I can't get home. I need help with money. And I even sent him $200 and Venmo was like, we can't do anything. Once you send money to someone, it's gone. So I think you're safe. Chia Pet is probably the only. Chia Pet and Jake are the two devs I see on here. So if they know about anything, they might be able to tell you. But yeah, guys, we have a big discussion tonight on the podcast. Obviously, it's going to be all about the new pack drop and how awesome it is and how excited I am to have bought so many zero packs. Now, you guys know what we're going to be talking about tonight. I want to give it a few minutes for people to trickle in. Jason, if you get the chance, maybe post that we're going live in the main server. I posted in our server, but we'll trickle in because this is going to be a conversation that is going to touch on, frankly speaking, some pretty important issues that have come to light recently and changed a lot of perceptions on this project for a lot of people and a lot more people than even those personally affected. So first off, we will address the drop this week. I would be remiss not to flex a bit. And yes, I've lost 12 pounds because I got the flu and didn't eat for 2 weeks. But
the vomit diet always works, right?
I don't even vomit, dude. I just have no appetite at all. I never want to eat. And so I'm down to 178 now. So ironically, that's actually like my healthy weight. So I'm not arguing with it. But I would be remiss not to brag to everyone that I bought 0 packs. No rare packs. No playoff bound packs. I haven't even ripped my fucking reward packs. I have officially, finally stood by my declaration that I am embargoing all packs from Sweet until further notice. I don't expect everyone to ride with me on this, but having said that, I hope after the conversation we have tonight that we'll have a bit of education going on, a bit of debate, and who knows where that will lead. But I have some very strong feelings that I have had to put together into lots of long emails to people because while my account personally wasn't affected, I know a lot of people's were, people close to me and people who are just friends of mine, including my mom, who is right here. Wave, Mom. Her account got suspended, and she is how happy about that? Quite pissed off. If you guys don't know, it's not that easy to onboard a boomer to use this stuff and to get her completely out of to know how to do trades and to do all that stuff. And after all that time of telling her she's going to make money and locking up her assets and her getting her to give me about $8,000 for epics, she gets her assets frozen and loses her rewards. So Mom probably hates me, but God bless her, I got sick and she came out to visit me. So, yes, Jake, this is actually an actor playing my mother.
She's good.
Hey, take the credit there. When we were discussing earlier about maybe having her come on, she didn't want it, and I was like, look, I'll just talk to you a little bit about how to appear on camera. Worked with lots of actors before, and let me tell you guys, she does not have a future as an actor. I can't be this mean to my mother. This is recorded. This is going live. Anyway, Guys, my mother was a developer for 33 years. She has some thoughts on this project overall. I do think that inviting her on in a little while to share them might give some perspective because, if we want to get Bob from Buffalo, as Tom Mazzone likes to say, we probably need to be able to get our friends and family members to at least care about this project. And we've gone from, and she has some pretty strong feelings about it. So I'm gonna give her the opportunity to talk about them. But for now, wanted to ask Jason, how'd this drop go for you? Did you buy any of the fucking rare packs or the playoff packs?
I did. I bought my full allotment. Did okay on my packs. I feel I don't know if you're already aware, if you're out there. I then bought a couple off the marketplace, and the first one I bought off the marketplace, I bought off a good friend of the show, and it had a nice epic in it. So I did feel, happy and sad at the same time. Happy for me. At least I overpaid for the pack a little bit, so like I felt a little less bad. No, it wasn't. I bust Garland's balls if it was him. No, it's one of our nice friends that we talk to all the time. He may or may not be aware. Again, I don't want to be that guy to tell him if he doesn't know. But so that went well.
You deserve it. I don't care.
Yeah. You know what you're signing up for. You take the risk as soon as you hit that button.
Yep. So
that went well.
Is it all old moments or new moments?
There were a few old ones thrown in. I think on the cheap packs, 2 out of the 3 were guaranteed to be new, and then the third one was sort of a random. I think on the expensive packs, there were like 2 or 3 slots that were just like kind of random base. I think they
is it Bedard OY or is it a new Bedard rare?
No, the same Bedard OI, I believe. And I didn't pull any of them.
Yeah. Well, I got a few Bedards left. Traded my mom my 69 Bedard because I wanted her to have a cool one and join the 60. That sounds terrible to say, but I wanted her to have a cool Bedard. And now that thing's stuck in her account, so she hopefully will get it back. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. I don't know if there's any new challenges or any new things going on. I've been really focused on the macro crypto world because I don't know if you guys all heard about it, but the Ethereum ETF got approved yesterday, which basically means that now people can invest their 401ks in Ethereum, and it's opening the door for basically every crypto, every airdrop to get their own. And it's kind of the U.S. government saying we've changed our mind and we support crypto. So this is pretty much the most bullish thing to happen since I've ever been in crypto. And my bags of shit coins that I've been spending my money on instead of NHL Breakaway have been much more profitable than NHL Breakaway as a result. If you follow our DGen channel, I kept telling you all to buy some of these things. And if you've listened to me, you're up between 5 to 10x on all of them. So I think Bo, congratulations, and Padavalti. But yeah, the big topic, obviously, Sweet has made the decision that after everyone finished completing their sets, and after everyone finished acquiring their assets to complete their sets, and only in the 25th hour, right before rewards were going to get delivered, that they would send out a whole wave of account suspensions without any notification, without any explanation, to basically a random assortment of users who not necessarily I can actually rationalize how they were chosen. Because I'll be honest with you guys, I'm no rat. I know a lot of users who genuinely have multi-accounts, and none of them actually got flagged. I do know a fair amount of users who genuinely have family members, siblings, loved ones who they onboarded to this project and have been transparent and open about it, and they got flagged. Which I'm going to lead on with the very first thing because I promise you guys, I love this community, and that's why I'm going to start with the hard part and then get into the easy part, which is to say, I hate to say it, I think there might be a few people among us that have nothing better to do than try to get their fellow community members' accounts fucked. Which is really sad to me because I don't care if I catch someone doing something terrible. As long as they're not committing a crime or being a scammer, I'm no rat. I ain't going to rat you out, any of you out there who I know about. Having said that, if that's all you got to do is, try to burn people's accounts, then you got to know that you're actually hurting real people. Where my dad here and Rosemary here, but I'd have them on the show tonight too to talk about it. Unfortunately, my grandmother's about to die and he's back home. And frankly speaking, Rosemary's been so pissed at me over this whole incident because this was her investment that she spent her last few $1,000s to her name on. She won't fucking even talk to me anymore. So thank you, sweet, for damaging a relationship of 10 years for me. I really appreciated that. And but nonetheless, again, to put a face to a real person, wave, Mom. She's smiling. She's not happy, and she's looking forward to this podcast being over because she doesn't even really want to deal with this shit other than the ways she's dealing with it outside of this. But I will ask Jason his feelings because Jason is in a unique position. And before I get into discussing my philosophical thoughts on this and why everything is, I would just like to learn about your experience a little bit because from my end and what I understand is according to both my parents and Rosemary, none of them received an email or any notification their accounts were suspended. They only found out when they went to try to log in, it said there's an issue with your account. And when they asked support, support said, you were emailed this notification and then pasted an email in the message, which said their accounts were being reviewed for 45 days and that if they had a problem with it or thought it was a mistake, they should contact support. At which point, I only know that I believe it was one of them, I don't know which one, told me they said, I am contacting support. You are support. Can you please explain what went on? To which Jonathan, in his typical fashion, said, there's a violation of the terms of service. And the response then was, which violation of what terms of service? Could you point it to me? I'm trying to read through and don't think I did anything wrong. And at that point, Jonathan did what he does best, which is ghost and not reply to any messages henceforth other than the submission of an ID saying, well, here's my ID to verify my identity. I don't know what else to do. And them saying, we're going to review this and we'll get back to you in 10 days. I have a lot stronger feelings on this, but Jason, you have a bit of a different story from your wife because she got the email initially.
Yeah, although it's more twisted than that. Sorry, I just had to close this deal. And yeah, holy shit, that guy just paid me $750 for 3 stupid pins. Let's go.
Disney pins.
All right. Anyway,
so that's awesome.
So, yeah. So our story was possibly even more like painful and disconcerting because a week ago Friday, my wife got an email. Oh, apparently everybody knows the dude who just bought this thing off me. And now I'm getting messages. Anyway, so she got an email. We work about 40 feet away from each other. Her office is right down the hall. Huh?
It wasn't Notorious who bought it off you, was it?
No, Adam. Apparently everyone knows who Adam is.
Oh, Notorious is one of the biggest guys who's bought shit off me. That's like
Adam Hollander. Adam Hollander.
Adam Hollander's a huge fucking crypto whale.
Yeah, well, now I got 750 of his bucks, so we're buddies.
Probably several $million in Ethereum. If you go on his Twitter, he's a big.
Oh shit! So I should ask for more, huh? God damn.
Yeah, you could have got a lot more out of him.
Well, anyway, I don't like to rip people off.
He's a good guy.
He dropped 750 out of the sky. Yeah, I don't like ripping off strangers.
He's a good guy. Anyway.
Yeah, she got the email. I hear the disgruntled scream from 40 feet down the hall. Go take a look. And yeah, so rightly freak out. It says contact support, because as most people are aware, like I've been very clear that, my wife and I both have accounts, just like we both have accounts on Top Shot, on All Day, on Vive, on every NFT platform. So just making sure that wouldn't, there's always the appearance of multi-accounting because we operate of one mind. We're never going to do something that doesn't help the other person. So I just want to be clear.
You guys are married, correct? And you live
so technically, if you, since this is being recorded, we're not married in America. We got married overseas. So technically in this country, we may not be married, but in Grand Cayman and in England, which owns Grand Cayman or something, we're married. married. So
So to
hopefully
go
that counts.
on a limb, I'm just going to ask you. I'm going to play devil's advocate here. This is your wife, and she lives with you, correct?
She's like right down the hall there. Yeah, putting the baby to bed.
So she's a human being.
She is. And I mean, that's what, like, I have a lot of patience and a lot of understanding, more than most. But like, you can be a dick to me and I can take it with a smile. But as soon as you're a complete dickhead to my family, to my wife or daughter, you're dead to me, dude. Like, I don't know how you come back from that. They haven't apologized. I've apologized, even though I'm not quite sure what I did wrong. They haven't even not even like a shitty apology, like a fake one. Like, I wouldn't mind a fake one at this point, but not a single kind word. And like, yeah, happy wife, happy life. Like, you mess with her, you're messing with our entire family. Like, and I don't know what hurt. Like, if anything, if anyone's account would look shady, I think it would be mine, because I've gotten packs off as I floated in Discord, and people said that was a bad idea, so I didn't do it this drop. But in the past, I'd gotten friends to go and buy packs on their accounts, and then I buy packs from them. But she never did that. So
I think
somehow her account, and also the extra. I mean, the extra weird thing is on Friday she got the email, right? We reach out and we're like, what's wrong? Something happened. And Jonathan was crystal clear, said, oh no, there's nothing wrong with your or her account. Both accounts are fine. You guys have done nothing wrong. The email was mistaken. So we're like, oh, that makes sense. Makes sense. That you said there's no investigation into your account, no evidence of any wrongdoing, nothing. Then, the week starts, Monday, Tuesday comes, Wednesday comes. She gets her reward pack and there's a legendary in it. We're fist pumping over here. We're going on vacation on Thursday in less than a week. So we're like, oh shit, we can sell this, have a little money for some massages or something. And then Thursday morning, all of a sudden her account's locked. And yeah, same drill. So, I mean, Jonathan's always been so cool to me. I don't know why he's being such a dick to my wife. Like, he has asked for 2 days. So he did give us the copy paste message, right? Like, you need to send us supporting documentation to argue your case. So I'm like, okay, so ask him what documents we need to send. I think she's asked that question about 6 times, at least like 36 hours ago. He's clearly seen the question. I can go over there and see the little scene thing, but he won't tell us what we need to send. So they kind of put you in this corner where it's like, you're in trouble unless you send us this thing. But then they won't tell us what the thing is we need to send them. So
I think it's your ID.
I mean,
I'm assuming it's ID. I got the same thing.
I asked. I mean, he could have just said yes. I said, do you need a passport, a wedding photo, tax return? And he won't tell me. Should I just start sending an avalanche of documents? Like, just answer the question, man.
Rosemary didn't know what to send, so she sent her passport, driver's license, and social security card. I was like, you probably shouldn't send your social security card. And she's like, well, these are all my IDs. And I was like, okay. And then she was like, you're an asshole and an idiot, and this is your fault this happened. I was like, what did I do? She's like, well, everyone hates you, so they're probably doing it to me because they hate you. And I was like, that's a nice way to talk about me. So I had a fun night that night. It's really frustrating. And, you bring up what is a very good point. And what's interesting to me, and this is going to get into my rant a little bit, is that her account didn't get suspended until she pulled a legendary.
Yeah, and almost immediately, like within 12 hours of pulling the legendary too. Pretty quick.
Doesn't that kind of say that if I was looking at it, I'm not talking in a court of law, because law is very different. But when I'm looking at it as a person, just rational, that tells me that the legendary, if you have an incident and then there's a following action, an action and a reaction, cause and effect, that tells me that the legendary was the cause that spurred the suspension. And here's what makes me concerned, is the fact that you were told a few days prior, your wife did nothing wrong, her account is not under suspicion, we're not investigating you, and yet 2 days later when she pulls a legendary, suddenly they'd investigated enough to suspend her, which tells me that it was an impulsive decision, likely in reaction to someone complaining that Jason's wife pulled a legendary. Because that's ultimately, if you're familiar with the phrase Occam's razor, the simplest solution tends to be the best one. And there's really no simpler explanation I can come up with than this was a sort of spontaneous decision based on a report from someone who said, probably, hey, Jason's wife just pulled a legendary. He's posted in the main server that he and his wife collaborate before. He's clearly multi accounting, blah, 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 blah. And the fact is that you were extremely transparent because I remember wondering, damn, Jason's got balls. You posted in the main server saying, this is what I do with my wife. This is how, not, that sounds wrong, but this is what me and my wife do with our accounts. And can someone give me clarity on whether we're breaking any rules? Because we don't know if we're breaking any rules here. And if I'm not mistaken, no one ever actually gave you a fucking answer.
Well, no, I did get an answer from the PHLPRR. He told me to contact support with the same question, which seemed reasonable. So I did. And I said, hey, we're doing X, Y, and Z, spelled out everything, said, please tell me if any of this is against any terms or conditions, any rules, let me know ASAP so we can stop. And yeah, they never said we were doing anything wrong. So I can't take that as anything other than a tacit endorsement.
So you know what's kind of ironic about that is, remember how they banned lending? We all remember the ban of lending, correct?
Yeah.
So let me just, I don't think you guys all know this part of the story. I was very open about my lending program, the bank of someone else. I was willing to help anyone because I love the idea of lending. It's one of my favorite things I used to do on Dapper platform and everything like that. But what a lot of you didn't know that I did before any of those loans was I messaged Jonathan saying that I was planning to do expensive loans to people to help them finish quests and to have him run it by the sweet legal department to ask if it was all right if I did lending. And days and days and days went by, and I kept following up. And eventually his response was to say effectively, we don't really have anything that says you can't do it. That was it. And to this day, as a person who has written a whole bunch of terms of use and legal documents, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the terms of use on Suite, and this is probably giving them a tip that is, they may try to cover up, have not been updated since June 18th, 2023. There is actually nothing in their terms of use that even mentions lending or loans in this context. There is nothing in their terms of use that discusses quests or sets or helping other users complete them. There's nothing that even mentions a user using multi-accounts to complete multiple quests for themselves. The only thing it mentions is that these NFTs have no intrinsic value and that Suite basically withholds the right to ban you for any reason they want, and that if they ban you for any reason they want and take away your personal property that you paid for, that you cannot sue them and that they are indemnified from any class actions or lawsuits, which is the equivalent of me saying, by entering my website and using my website, thefifthline.com, you are agreeing that no matter what you do or what I do, you can't sue me or anything. Even if I murder you, you cannot sue me. And there have been some legal cases recently debating the validity of such waivers of liability. And suffice to say, the courts have not ruled in the favor of the companies that have those waivers. So I was actually a lot more diligent than I kind of, I didn't really want to make a big stink about it, but I actually asked Jonathan if it was okay if I did loans. And I was given the go-ahead, effectively, on it. So kind of an interesting little twist that I would add to that. This feels very, frankly speaking, targeted. This feels like there might be certain users out there who just have an axe to grind, they want to see other users get hurt, and they get really, I don't even see other users get hurt. I think they just get maybe they think that well, I'm not getting as many rewards as this person. And so they get jealous and look for a reason to be angry at that person. And it's if you put yourself in my position, Rosemary and I spent almost $13,000 or $14,000 on cause for Selly packs. Suite then discontinued those packs and took those moments that we paid $500 per pack for and stuck them in fucking free reward packs. So everyone across the whole project started getting the same epics that we paid the down payment on a car for. And so we put all this money into it, pulled a whole bunch of McCartys and Niedermeiders and shit, and somehow we get painted as bad guys for completing our sets. And I'm really struggling to wrap my mind around that. And I'm struggling to wrap my mind around the fact that, like, Sweet has been pretty generous with rewards. And I can't help but wonder if maybe they bit off more than they could chew with these rewards. And they almost are just looking for an excuse not to give out as many rewards, that they want to try to find a way to make money off those moments. So they're like, well, what if we just ban all these accounts that got rewards and then stick them in paid tax? So I don't know. That's speculative. And I'm not this we speculate a lot on this podcast. It's one of the things they do. And I want to, like, kind of point out, now, this is going to be me on my soapbox, and I'm sorry, but I got to say this stuff because it's important to me. You guys probably don't know the writer side of me very much, but it's a very important part of my life, to the point that, writing is what I do. I love nonfiction, fiction, storytelling. I write books. I have some pretty successful books likely coming soon. And my most recent novel I wrote dealt with the concept of digital existence and digital property. And why I mention that is it's just sort of to couch this in, I spent years studying this. I work in tech a little bit, developing products here. And I want to establish why I think this stupid little NFT project, these stupid little cryptos, all this blockchain stuff actually has more profound significance to everything than we're realizing. Which is to say, let's picture 50 years from now, assuming we're all still here. How technology's better. We're still going to be fucking old. I'm going to be 87, Jason. You're going to be 55. No, I'm just kidding.
Super duper old. Probably dead.
Let's say 100 years from now. Or that's too far, but I'm 100. Let's say when we're 100. Let's assume you're geriatric. You can't walk. You can't do anything. But there's a company that comes along and says, if we put this chip into your brain, you can live another 100 years in a digital metaverse where you can be anything you want to be. You can be 25 again. You can be a model. You can be a dragon. You can be a fucking earthworm. I don't care. You can be anything you want. And if you pay for access to this, you get it. So you say, fuck yeah, I don't want to grow old and invalid and die. I want to live in a metaverse. Then, 6 months into it, after you've invested your literal entire existence into the living in this metaverse, they decide they don't like you because you said something wrong, and they point to some fine print in their contract that's ambiguous, and they revoke everything around you, leaving you sitting in a blank white abyss of nothingness on a time dilation for 100 years. That is why the question of digital property becomes important. Because whether you can own digital property now is going to help dictate ownership of digital property at a time when digital property actually fucking matters. And if you guys don't think the world's going to get there, that's perfectly reasonable. Maybe we go extinct before that happens. Maybe aliens invade us before it happens. But if we continue on the technological track we're on, as someone who just literally used the Apple goggles today, let me tell you, it is very close to where we're going to start wearing haptic suits and be going around in metaverses, and digital property is going to fucking matter. And the way the legal system works in legislation is that traditionally, if you look at the way the world works today, a lot of the things that we hold sacred as our rights are not rights that were defined in modern times. They're rights that were defined when the technology was in its most nascent form, nascent meaning young, if not even before it. The rights of, you could talk about Roe versus Wade defining the rights of women autonomy over their body, Brown versus Board of Education. You can go back throughout history, but basically, most of the rights we hold sacred to ourselves now were usually the byproduct of small court cases that got a lot bigger many years ago. And so it's incredibly important to me to define what digital property rights are. And frankly speaking, it's overlooked with everyone arguing about everything in the world right now. I just think it's important to define that.
Okay.
And the only thing I can think of that's more important to define than digital property rights is possibly the rights of what is consciousness, because that, don't get me into that, but I think with AI we're creating the potential to basically bring back slavery, which is horrible. But extending this further with digital
I
property
love you,
rights,
Billy. I'll
I
come
just want
soon,
to
okay?
mention one other thing. What happens when you digitize your mind, if this can be done?
I'll come soon.
Are you digital property yourself? Can you cease to own your actual self, your own mind? If you digitize it and upload it into Google, Apple, fucking OpenAI's metaverse, can they say we now own your mind and we now own your memories and we now own everything? So while this all seems small and insignificant, it is actually pretty important, at least to me, I would say. And while this is just NHL breakaway and these are just collectible hockey moments, they're digital representations of real things, which are collectibles. And if I go to a store today and I buy a signed hockey puck, I can walk out of that store with that signed hockey puck. I can put it on my mantle. If I don't like it, I can piss on it. If I want to give it to Jason, I can give it to Jason. If I want to give it to anyone, I can give it to anyone. If I want to burn it, I can fucking burn it. It's mine. If I want to sell it, I can sell it. It is 100% my property. But if I go on to Suite and I craft a digital signature, that signature exists only within the store that Suite allows me to have it. It's in a wallet that I can only access by permission of Suite. Its only value is determined upon the existence of Suite. And if Suite goes out of business, it very well might disappear. And it's only going to go up in value, frankly, if Suite does well. And so there's a lot of really important and profound questions that we're asking here. And I know this is, I know this is hard to say that, like, oh, it's just, NFTs. But to me, this represents a lot more. So when I say I'm so fucking angry about what they've done, it's not just because they went after my family. Like, don't get me wrong. You go after my family, I'm an angry person. And my boxing coach has taken a lot of the brunt of that anger last week when I finally no longer had the flu and was healthy enough to punch the absolute shit out of some stuff. But having said that, and I have a hockey game this Sunday, and I have a feeling someone's going to get bodied. But when it comes to this, I'm not just concerned about my parents. I'm not just concerned about Rosemary. I'm concerned about the other users who are affected, who I know of as Jason's wife, Blassimo's brother, Anytime's brother. I'm sure there's others. I don't want to name random names because I know a lot of people who have family members involved, and I don't want to put targets on them. But this also concerns me for each and every one of the users in here who don't even have family members involved. What this has shown me is that Suite doesn't sit here and do a bunch of research and dig up reasons to suspend accounts. Suite acts reactionary. And all it's going to take is for enough people to complain about you, and you could lose access to your account. Any one of you. And it's not hard to create a bunch of duplicate accounts and make it look like 10, 12, 20 people are complaining about a person if you have enough of a vendetta. And so I really think that even if we have disagreements and we don't like each other for any reason, the one thing we all need to stand together on as a community is that we are the fucking reason this company is even still in business. And if this company has any future, it will be because of our loyalty as customers buying their packs of fucking NFTs and trusting that they were honest and fair in the distribution of those NFTs and that they gave us real collectibles. And we need to stand together as a community and look Suite in the eye and tell them that we're not going to stand for the targeting of anyone in our community, because it's just like that saying, and I'm not going to bring it up into too much depth because it's too far for me as a Jewish person. But, first they came for the communists and I wasn't a communist, so it wasn't me. And first, then they came for the leftists and I wasn't a leftist, so I didn't care. Yada, yada, yada. Eventually, they came for me and there was no one left to stand for me.
Hey, I'm with you on that one, man. Yeah, as a fellow Jew, it's an interesting time to I've definitely never felt quite as targeted in my life as I do these days, but that's for a different podcast.
Yeah, I mean, look, I have very complex feelings about all that's going on, but that's why I don't even think that the wars and all these things are the most important issues we're facing. I think that the earth is probably fucked for climate change. I mean, we might figure out ways, but I think we're heading to a future where you're going to find that life is much, 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 much better if you just put on an oxygen mask, breathe healthy air, throw on some goggles and a haptic suit and maybe a chip in your brain, and you go gallivant around the universe as a fucking dragon, unicorn, whatever, and just live out your dreams in reality. And I think we're heading in that direction. And maybe I'm an optimist, but I did spend the last 15 years studying future technology, quantum consciousness, quantum computing, and the potential ramifications of living in a virtual augmented reality as conscious. So I do have some measure of at least confidence in discussing this. And I know this has taken a very side track from basically, well, they just suspended accounts. But I don't see it as a small thing. I see it as a gross overstep of what they should have done, which is and Jason, maybe I'll ask your opinion on this. I think the fair thing to do here would have not been to suspend accounts, but to send messages to accounts saying, we've received reports that you might be violating the rules or the terms of our service of our account. Please provide NYPD information to confirm that you are legitimately who you say you are so that we don't have to take further action. I think that would have been a more approach.
I mean, that's what most of us are used to, right? That's what Dapper does. That's what other big NFT platforms do. This shit happens, and when it happens, they handle it on a case-by-case basis. Sometimes they have to kill accounts, and there's a big brouhaha or whatever. But yeah, sorry, I'm doing so many things at once right now. My brain is all over the place.
A lot of ranting from me tonight.
Yeah, right. Yes. Yeah, Jake, right. I know. I thought about that. I was like, you know what? I wanted to say, like, you never gave us a warning. And then I was like, no, you know what? That's bullshit. They're going to say we did give you a warning. It came out 1 minute right before everything got suspended. But technically, they gave us a warning. Right. It's just like, it's adversarial, right? When you're dealing with, like, I'm COO for a company. We provide services to customers. Like, when you're in a business that sells a product or a service, like, there's a couple ways to go. You can try to do it the friendly way, or you can do it the adversarial way and get lawyers involved. And like, that seems crazy here. Like, this is a stupid hockey NFT thing that's supposed to be fun for all of us. If something really bad is going on, okay, step in. But if people being annoyed in the Web3 space, if that's the bar, God help you. I mean, even the happiest rooms are miserable all of the time. Like, yeah, I don't get it. It's just, I don't understand the adversarial approach. Like, we're your customers. I've had to fire employees who were straight up fucking us over and working multiple jobs. I've never treated anybody as shitty as they've treated my wife. And these were people who legit fucked us over and I had to fire. And you still treat them like a human being. Like, you're cordial and polite and like, yeah, I mean, if you've made the decision, like, yeah, we're not going to change. I'm going to fire you, but I'm not going to be a dick about it. Like, you're a human being and I'm going to treat you as such.
That's the truth, Jason. And the funny thing is, in all of this, is like I checked on NHL BA and I saw my dad got one of his reward packs delivered to his account, even though he can't access it. But like, my parents and my partner, Rosemary, they froze these moments till November 30th. They gave up their right to sell them or do anything with them. And they acquired these moments through very legal means, which is they paid me $8,000 to help.
I know.
And like,
I remember you hit me about that too. I feel kind of like an asshole because I'm one of the ones who talked you into actually going through with it. Like, don't just fake it. Like, yeah, I mean, if we're gonna do it, let's play by the rules. Make them pay you. Like, they're not gonna be sleeping on the street. And I know that was hard for you. It'd be hard for me. Like, yeah, I don't like taking money from family, but you did it.
I even though there were no fucking rules that said no lending in actual like terms, I still was like, okay, people get upset about it. And I remember getting messages the day last week when I was sending my parents a bunch of their epics that they had bought from me, and it was some random user who had had 3 messages ever in Discord apparently, posting screenshots of our trades as if they were these, like, smoking gun evidence things. And I remember being like scratching my head, like, one, those are offline deals. Two, according to Sweet, these moments have no intrinsic value. So if I want to trade an Adam Lowry for 5 Wayne Gretzky's, that shouldn't matter. And three, like, there was no context or my ability to even defend myself in the fact that, like, I felt like a piece of shit charging my own fucking family for this stuff. That's why Rosemary is in part so mad at me, because you guys saw and her, she was so excited when she pulled her Gretzky 99, and I swindled her into giving me that 99 for 3 regular Gretzky's and a fucking purse. And then
purse carries a lot of weight.
I told her, she said, well, how am I going to get the most value for these? You know, she thought her Gretzky was going to be worth like 20 grand someday. And I was like, well, the most likely valuable thing someday is if you get a #1 Gretzky signature. I was like, I don't think you should burn them to get the signature, but it's your choice. And she was like, well, I'm going for the signature. And so she burned her 3 Wayne Gretzky's that she got for me for a signature. I can't at the #1 signature. And now, because of this whole issue, is she going to get her fair 50-50 shot with Jay Weezy for that #1 signature, or are they just going to give it to Jay Weezy and then give her the #2 automatically? And if they do that, does that break their own rules, of fairness? Because, guys, I didn't have the courage to burn Gretzky's. I went for fucking Bedard core. I told her not to fucking do it. I was like, I said it on this podcast that burning epics was a bad move. And she had balls. She fucking did it. And I was like, all right, tip of the damn cap to you for going for that, girl. I hope you get it. And they took that joy away. They've taken that joy away. And
and I mean, it's one thing, sorry to cut you off, like taking the joy away is one thing. I'm okay with that. But like, I mean, I love hockey. I love this shit so much. Like, they took the joy and they turned it into a fucking cancer that I can't get away from soon enough. Like, talk about night and day.
Yeah, and
hey, what you got?
Thing that is, a little one in here. Jake, you raised a good point about these emails, because that's another thing that I want to get into, which is the pattern of incompetence and potential deception from Sweet. And that's something that actually alarms me as well, which is, first, when I got my email for all my signatures, every single one of them was a signature. Every single one of them had the wrong serial number on it. It was for number 23 for every single. And number 23, 9 Draisaitl, number 9 Crosby, had all these other numbers. I remember, I was like, this is fucking weird. And they'd already had a pattern of like saying they sent emails they didn't send. And so, I thought it was interesting how they just kind of have this consistent pattern of fucking up like basic shit. Like back when we did the original quest for I think Gordie Howe quest, it said in the fine print your moments were frozen until June 25th. And when you went to click to freeze the moment, it said your moment was frozen until July 25th. And I remember I took a screenshot of both things with the text clear showing which quest it was. And I sent it to Jonathan. I said, I think you guys made a typo here. Which date is it? And he said, hold on a minute. Let me talk to the team. And then he said, can you refresh your page? And I refreshed it, and it was fixed. And I go, oh, you fixed it? He goes, oh, no, there was never a problem. I think you were mistaken. And I'm like, grow up. There's fucking emails right there. And
yeah, I mean, that's like, I don't know why someone would try to do that. Like, I work. Well, yeah, you work. You have an IT background. Yeah, a lot of us work in tech who are messing with this Web3 stuff, right? I'm certainly not alone. That's what I do for a living. And cover up is always worse than the crime. Everything's screenshotted, or you have to assume. Like, you cannot assume you can get away with anything. You have to assume if the dirt is out there, someone screen grabbed it. And I guess you can play the game and say, hey, they just fudged the screenshot if you want to go down that route. It's like once it's the whole thing with lying, right? Once you lie, you have to start telling lie after lie after lie to cover it up. Or you could just be like, oh, yeah, sorry, we'll fix that. Like, I feel like they're allergic to the word sorry. Have you ever heard them apologize for anything?
Yes.
Yes.
One
What?
time when I
How?
got scammed, they said, "We promise we'll make this right. We promise we'll do right by you." And 3 days later, they came back and said, "We're sorry, there's nothing we can do to help you."
Awesome. Well, I'm glad. So yeah, sorry we're doing nothing for you, but that's actually funny you bring that up, right? Because that, like, every NFT platform has like similar and almost anything. There's always weird shit buried in the fine print, right? But I made the bad assumption of thinking they would only use that to go after scammers. Like, those are the people that need to be kicked the hell out of the community. If you're going to go and misrepresent yourself or
The scammer never got paid.
oh, good. Well, at least he never got paid. But yeah, it's like, dude, like that's the clause should be there to go after those people, the people who will, without a care in the world, take every penny from your bank account, look you in the eye, smile, and be like, all right, well, I win. Like, those are the people you got to get. I don't see anyone in the community who's that type. I mean, like, I like to make fun of certain people and like their techniques and how they. Okay, 5. Okay, I'll see you in 5. Oh, you want a high five? Sorry.
No, it's cool. I agree. I think that we are spoiled with the penalty box, and we have a fucking rad community of people in here who I like just about everyone. There's a couple people who seem to have no other desire to be in there except to give me shit because I didn't reply to a text or something to them fast enough. And those people, I'm not going to call them out by name other than to say, like, chill the fuck out, like, get over it.
Yeah, and the people I was kind of alluding to, and again, like I like to talk shit about them in a funny way, but at the end of the day, like I'd go have a beer with them. I buy them a beer. Like they're whatever. They're flipping packs. They're doing all kinds of crazy shit. Like, good for them, man. That's not my style, but hey, if that's what you want to do, that's you. You do it. And
I want to go through just a basic timeline of a couple things that I think is pertinent right here. And as to address Friday Booth, I burned the Bedard Core #1 because I decided that a non-debut Bedard Core was less #1, was significantly less valuable than a guaranteed signature Bedard #1 from his rookie year. And because of so many people went for that one, I didn't want to take 10% odds. I just wanted to go for it and guarantee and lock it in. I felt like that was probably, if only like 4 people had gone for Bedard, I wouldn't have. But because 10 or 11 or 12 people did Bedard Core, I was like, fuck it. I'll do the Bedard Core. I don't mind burning it. And I also had said on this podcast on like multiple occasions, I said, I'm burning this #1. So admittedly, I found a loophole to burn the #1 without losing all of it, because I'm not going to lie. I actually, like, if I had custody of my wallet at that time, I would have sent it to the fucking burn wallet. I love sending high value shit to the burn wallet sometimes purely out of spite. I remember on one project called Gnome Game, I got a 1 of 1 of the creator of the project that he had minted it for himself, and I from him. And I was saying, Jason, one time I was talking about how I burned the #1. I said this one time on a project called Gnome Game. I love burning valuable shit. The project creator minted an NFT of himself, a 1 of 1 special one that was going to be like a special reward to the community. And I sniped it. And then he pissed me off one, and we would always joke about it. And then he pissed me off one day, so I sent it to the Wax Burn wallet, and I sent it to the Wax Burn wallet.
Oh man, you gotta respect that, man.
So I want to go through just a really quick timeline of things, because I think it's really important to look at things from a macro picture, which is, while we're so focused and fixated on sniping each other, and a lot of people are like, well, that person got this and that person got that, and I'm jealous of this. I think it's important to look at some stuff that I've kind of had a chance to reflect on, and it does raise alarms for me. I mentioned how support seems to have a long-standing pattern of kind of denying that there was a bug and just saying that it was never there, we fixed it, it was always existing. But I want to go back to September, October. You guys all remember when Matt got minted, the project lead of a project minted the #1 serial pack to himself, and his reaction was to try to trade it for an Austin Matthews debut rare, which at the time was trading for more than $300. And I remember calling him out and being brushed off, and then I called out Tom on Twitter, and he came in and dropped the hammer and said, this was wrong, Matt made a mistake, it was totally innocent, there was no ill intention. But I remember thinking at the time, maybe there wasn't like ill intent, but he was a guy who worked on a project and tried to take a test asset and make a profit off of it. And there is no circumstance where I've had a lot of employees in my life where I wouldn't have fired that person. There's none. I would have fired that person 100 times out of 100 unless they literally cried to me and begged to me and signed a document saying I'd never do anything shady again. Then a few weeks after
that, sign about your decision-making process there.
Then a few weeks after that, the same user, Matt, was in a discussion about multi-accounters, and I remember someone said we should have KYC. And his response was, with all due respect, what is your background in scaling companies to over 1 million users if you're going to discuss what we should be doing? And the user was embarrassed and never showed up in the community again. And I replied to Matt saying, well, I've scaled multiple projects to over 1 million users, and I can say that KYC is very important, and I can't understand why we don't have KYC, to which one of the replies was, A, which projects did you scale? Can you dox yourself? And B, to say later, I think a day later, having no KYC is part of our marketing plan. So having no KYC was part of their marketing plan. Then they give out packs and say, here's links, everyone, 10 links, give to your friends and family to onboard them. They're not going to care about these players because these fandom moments are of mostly players no one gives a fuck about, but you're going to care about them. And almost everyone just ended up either in a dead account or in someone's account who shipped it back to the person who gave them the pack so that they could finish their sets. Then we get to, November. I get banned from the community because I submitted a DM to ModMail saying that the community lead didn't know jack shit about hockey and that you guys need to hire someone who knows something about hockey. And for some reason, the next day, I get accused of having duplicate Discord accounts, even though I had a text message with that same moderator saying, I don't have duplicate Discord accounts. You're talking to me on the same account as before. And her replying, oh, right. Yeah, well, I guess I was mistaken. So that was an interesting one. Then we have Gary getting banned in December because, God bless him, I love you, Len. You're my friend. But Len made, he thought he was using a bot. He was just trying to be cautious, and he reported Gary for using a bot. And they immediately suspended Gary for 15 days right when the market opened, and Gary suffered probably significant financial losses for not being able to sell in that time period. Then we fast forward to the new year, and I get a message from Diamond telling me that that there was the potential for an exploit because it was possible for someone with admin privileges to alter the NFT IDs or pack IDs, which basically means Sweet could change what's in the packs up to the moment of opening them. And that alarmed me. And then finding out that Sweet didn't care about it. And it's just kind of one thing after another all this time. And it fucking adds up. And then we get to February, where I'm being very critical of the project. And I start getting calls once a week from the CEO to give him advice on it and to advise and tell them not to launch their PFP collection because it was the worst art I've ever seen in my fucking life, and it would have been an embarrassment. And I literally said, that's terrible. Don't launch that. Thank God they didn't. And then we have the incident that everyone remembers, which is the next gen drop, where I go on this podcast and I say, if I was shady and I was trying to sell out a pack because they aren't selling any out, I'd find a way to bury the Legos to the end of the drop. And for some weird reason on that next gen drop, after never having left the queue system on throughout a drop before, they left the queue system on. And it just so happened that all 3 packs containing the Legos were among the bundle of, 600 packs or so that got carded and pushed past pack 3000 to guarantee a sellout. And that was suspicious. And then the next week, after I called them out on it, they decided to randomize serials and remove that system and make all these wholesale changes. And finally, yesterday, we have an incident where they do a pack drop. And Jason, you work in development and IT. Mom, you work in development and IT for 33 years. My mom is right here again. Would either of you guys say that it is more common to do QA before or after you launch a product? Before. Exactly. You do QA before you launch a product. So I'm sitting here wondering, why did Sweet open a pack that was supposed to be for a customer after they already released the drop? They've done many drops. They know their drops work. They know their pack mechanics work. Why did they open a pack and then that pack happened to contain a legendary and then they happened to use that legendary as a marketing tool to get people to buy more packs by saying for every pack you buy, you'll get an entry into winning a legendary. And I'm sorry, but like I'm not going to sit here and say I dove into the forensics and I have all this, but I just look at it and I think, why the fuck would you do something that's not a common practice in tech? Then you get so lucky you pull a Lego, and then your reaction to pulling that Lego is to use it as a marketing tool to drive more sales because sales, frankly speaking, are questionable at times. And so all of this is just to say it all adds up to the fact that if you couple all that shit with the fact that now they're suspending users from accessing their accounts and potentially seizing assets and questioning our rights to personal property, I hate to say it, and I never thought I'd say these words in my entire life because I hate that other company that I'm about to mention, but this is worse than Dapper. I didn't think it was physically possible to be worse than Dapper. And I'm sorry for Dapper. I know you love Dapper, Jason, and I'm sorry to Dapper people.
Hey, like I said, you can talk shit to me all you want. I can take it. I got no problem.
I can't fathom how, like, I love the NHL. Guys, I have put in, like, probably over 1,000 hours to running the penalty box. I've given away thousands of dollars worth of assets to you guys because I just love this community. Jake and I built the fifthline.xyz as a resource to help this community. I took 2 hours a week for weeks out of my time to give Tom free feedback on NHL Breakaway and how to improve the quality of the UX, the user experience, and the product and sales and all sorts of ideas that I had cooked up that I could have used for other things. And I tolerated all of this when, he offered to hire me and then ghosted me. And then when they suspend my family's accounts, I send Tom a DM on Telegram saying, hey man, what the fuck? Like, why are you targeting my family? Like, I've had conversations with you about my family many times. You know they're real people. They went to the All-Star game. Sweet met them. What's going on? I want to resolve this amicably. Please get back to me. And he ghosted me. He didn't fucking reply. And it's a bummer. And I'm not a fan of Dapper. And if you guys want some alpha, I'll give it to you right here. Had another dinner with my friend whose hedge fund has made $100 million off of sports collectibles. And he said, I quote, Dapper is going to survive as long as the money they have currently in their war chest lasts, and then they're going bankrupt. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but this guy's company owns the NFL Players Union, like a large percentage of NFL player union rights. He knows shit. And I would get out of all this stuff. I don't have any Dapper to sell. I wish I did. I'm in shitcoins. If anyone here wants to buy some shitcoins, hop in our DGen channel. I've had like 4 or 5 great calls lately. I turned $600 into $7,000 over the last month on my weirdo call. I got Blade Swap where I'm getting 450% APR now for 6 straight weeks, and I'm compounding it daily and cashing out US dollars. I got a $3,000 to $4,000 airdrop coming on June 26th. Crypto is where it's fucking at. But I still love hockey. I still love collectibles. And so this is me, if Sweet's listening, saying to you guys, do what's right. Reinstate everyone's account. Anytime's brother, Lassimo's brother, Jason's wife, anyone else who's suspended. As long as they provide proof that they're real people. I don't want people out there running 6 accounts being fake. But if they're real people, just reinstate them. We need all the users we can get. We need all the support we can get. We're not doing that well as a project. We're running TV commercials and still not seeing massive growth or marketplace movement. I don't know if Sweet and this NHL project is even going to be around in 2 years. But you know what? I was putting like 10 grand a month into this project, and I was doing everything I could to support it. And I'm asking you guys to just do what's fucking right, because this is going to set an example for a lot of stuff. I talked about personal property, digital property rights, all these things. Be a leader. Don't just don't just kowtow to a few people who complain to try to placate whiners and just violate potential rights. So that's my spiel. I know it's long-winded, guys. Look, cut me a break here. I had the flu for 2 weeks. I woke up Sunday coughing up blood. I've had a stressful week taking fucking Xanax or Valium every day because I thought I was dying of lung cancer until my doctor did tests and said you're not. So, there's a lot that goes on in life that, you may not hear about with a person. Like, I feel fucking horrible because I charged my own fucking family 8 grand to help them finish their sets, and now they can't even access their accounts. Mom, how many packs did you buy for next gen?
30 or more.
30 or more packs, she said, and you tried to sell them, and
I sold some of them, but not most of them.
and you
The
did you
value I
did you
expect.
still have Sweet left in your account?
Yeah.
And she can't even take her Sweet out. She KYC'd already. What are we doing here? Like I got nothing. I'm never gonna fucking go after another community member. It's not my style. I'll go after Sam Bennett if he's a community member. That's the only person I'd ever go after. I would body Sam Bennett. He's a little bigger than me, but I'd still body him. That's it, and that's the cheap shot he took on Marsha. It was a long-winded spiel for me tonight, guys. I really appreciate that you guys have all tuned in for this. I'm gonna give away a few things that are free. I gotta be honest, I'm sticking by my guns about not buying more packs right now because I am pissed off. But I got a lot of assets, and I'm not here to be greedy. I'm gonna give some of them away. So I think what I'll do is maybe, Jason, I'll rip my 25 pack and give away some of that. That could be cool.
Wait, what? The reward pack?
Yeah,
The 24 by 24 thing?
Yeah, the 24
Yeah.
gold. Maybe I can rip
Yeah,
that and give that away.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a fun pack to rip. There's a chance of good stuff in that bad boy.
Yeah, so like, give me
In fact, I got to see gold there after my wife screamed, and we pulled a nice Lego out of that right before they locked their account. So
Yeah,
it
so
can be a good pack.
apologies. My computer is I'm on my broken computer because while Rosemary was so mad at me over what happened, she I'll just say made my face not her friend and threw a bucket of water on me while I had a fever and broke my other computer. So we'll just say that I'm on a very slow computer, so you guys will have to bear with me here. I know this was a huge, long rant from me. I've put a lot of time into really thinking about what I was going to say because I mean it genuinely. I fucking care. Whether Sweet does or doesn't, I care about all you guys, even the ones of you who give me shit. I care about just simply the rights of human beings to digital property. And I'm hoping that someday I can become a fucking digital metaverse dragon and fly around the universe and do all sorts of crazy fucking shit. And I won't say because my mom's in the room. But, until that day happens, I want to make sure to set it up that when that day happens, I don't want to end up the property of Apple. I don't want my actual mind to become owned by someone
Right, I
else.
mean, we all saw Human Centipede, right?
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but if anyone wants something that will really scare the shit out of you, I recommend watching the Christmas episode of Dark Mirror, because that will sort of tell you what I'm talking about here when it comes to the dark places we're going. Just watch the middle part with the egg. So I'm gonna log into Sweet right now into NHL Breakaway, and I'm gonna get into my account, and I'm gonna open my. I wasn't gonna open my reward packs, but I don't have anything to open on the show here. And I want to give some stuff away, so I'll open this one reward pack, and I think I have a couple of the. I got a random Ice Nation pack, I've got the 24 out of 24 reward pack. I'm not going to open my playoff bound heroic quest reward pack because I just don't care what's in it. And I think I've got like one or two of the. I gave a lot of them away, but I think I have an expansion pack left. So I'll open that stuff up. I'm going to give that stuff away. And we're going to have a little bit of fun here. I also am wondering how the fuck my bracket is doing. Anyone know who's the leaderboard on the bracket here? Completely unrelated, but I think I'm still kind of like near the top of it, which would be pretty sweet to win after all this. Ironically, I think my dad might be ahead of me. I think he's got almost perfect bracket. He had Dallas and oh no, he picked the Bruins over Florida. And I picked Florida over.
Yeah, I made that mistake too. Goddamn
Yeah,
Bruins.
I am going to be honest. I would be sadder about the Bruins if the Celtics didn't look like an unstoppable force of nature that's going to steamroll.
Oh, hey, I forgot the extra, while we're on the fun stuff, I forgot about the last bit of not fun stuff. I did like a test withdrawal from my account just to make sure that you could actually withdraw money because it's usually a good thing before you invest too much. I did it like a month ago. It went through in less than 60 seconds. Money was in my bank in 2 days. I made a similar withdrawal request yesterday morning at around 9 a.m. And it says they have received my deposit, even though it's a withdrawal, and they're doing some final checks on my transaction. Thank you for your patience. That's about 36 hours after I put in the request. So, I mean, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. It could just be a coincidence.
Wait,
or
so exactly what happened here?
I can't withdraw my suite.
Oh, so the good news about when you can't withdraw your suite. This is actually the reason that I did some of the deal offline with my family for their NFTs. I wanted to do them over Suite, and I needed the money for cash, so I was going to have to withdraw it. And I went to do a test withdrawal, and I actually could not withdraw. MoonPay wasn't working. So I messaged Suite, and Jonathan said, "Oh, it's a MoonPay issue. You have to message MoonPay." So I messaged MoonPay, and guess what? You want to hear this great news? When I messaged MoonPay for support on this, MoonPay replied to me on a ticket. And you know what they replied to me on when I said I can't do withdrawals? They replied to me from a ticket I had opened in September of 2023. That was the ticket they replied to. They had never replied to that ticket. And they said, "We're very sorry for the extraordinary delay, but it looks like your issue has been solved." And I said, "No, I can't do withdrawals." 3 weeks. I told Jonathan then. He said, "Go on support with them." They never replied. Jonathan couldn't get them to reply. And I eventually just said, "John, I'm going to do this trade over the counter because I can't trust making withdrawals from Suite." 3 weeks later, MoonPay replied saying, "It looks like you should be able to make withdrawals now. Sorry for the delay again. We're really sorry." I still can't make withdrawals. So I'm in 49th place, by the way. It looks like Rymao is in 4th. That motherfucker. Consort is in 14th. And Dangbro is up there. Patrick Bateman has one of the funniest things I've seen.
What does that look like to you? I've left this tab open since yesterday morning when I made the request. You think they're going to give me my money, or because?
Can I add it to the stage?
Yeah.
That tells me I don't know if you're going to get your money. I think you'll get your money. I think you will. But I don't know when you're going to, because MoonPay is really, really what's the word for it? Bad at customer support.
Oh yeah, I had an issue with them earlier. I mean, I'll give them a mixed score. They responded to my request, like they interacted with me, gave me answers. The answer they gave me though was that like certain things in their processes can take a few days or weeks to clear. So just keep check back in a few days or a week, and it should clear itself up. So I mean, they did answer my question, but that's I don't usually love giving customers that kind of an answer. It doesn't sound like you really have super good control over your infrastructure.
Yeah. You know, I don't know why they used MoonPay. Well, I know what they told me they used MoonPay because the NHL was too conservative and didn't trust using Circle for banking, and Circle's U.S. dollar coin. If you're not familiar, but if they had used Circle right now, we would have crypto and debit card, credit card based deposits active from day one. We'd have withdrawals active. We'd have everything set up without. And, oh, by the way less fees. So yeah, we could use Circle, and we should have. It isn't. It can't change it in hindsight now because. And actually, ironically, they didn't use Stripe because Stripe didn't take crypto, but Stripe takes crypto now. So they really have no reason to stick with MoonPay, which has exorbitant fees. They said they don't take any of the fees from MoonPay to me. So that, I don't know if that was the truth or not, but if they don't get any of those fees from MoonPay, I think it's a better marketing move to go with payment processors that charge customers less, and they might onboard more people because there's a lot of people who just won't use it if they just won't use it if it's MoonPay. I'm making sure I got all you guys on the wheel here. That's why I have it up. I promised you guys that I'm going to do something with the XP, and I still plan on doing it. It's just been a 3-week hiatus because I got really sick, and that's it. I just got sick, guys, and I needed to recover, which reminds me, right before I dive into doing all this stuff, I got to take my medications. So I'm going to take my medications, and then I'm going to get into ripping a couple packs for y'all and giving away the contents of them. I think if I pull a legendary, I'll give it away. I don't really care. I don't really fucking care. They have no intrinsic value, right?
Nope, it's just a YouTube clip.
My mom just said, don't do that. I'm going to give away whatever I want.
Don't do that.
Always listen to your mother.
If you get your rewards, Mom, you can do what you want with them. But these are my rewards. I'm doing what I want with it. Right now, I don't think you're on there, my brother. You got to remember to. I know you've been busy, dude. But you got to remember to throw your name on the sleeve. But right now, congratulations, you're in 4th place in the pool. So yeah. Also, while you guys are here, if you haven't squared up yet for our penalty box fantasy league for the playoffs, please make sure to square up on that because I don't know everyone who didn't pay, and like I'm gonna just like pay out of pocket for anyone who didn't. And I've kind of taken some bad L's lately, so just bad L's in general in life expenses. I'm not gonna get into it all, but let's just say my car got fucking in an accident. My insurance company found a loophole not to cover it. I got $12,000 worth of dental work done 2.5 weeks ago. I got a problem with my bank going on. A lot of issues. God bless. Everyone say a prayer that Weirdo token goes to 100 million market cap. Because if it does, I'll give away. Weirdo next from here, I'll give away $1,500 cash on this podcast. That's half an ETH. I'll give away 1/2 ETH on this podcast if it hits 100 million. Hand to God. What would I care? I'll make like 150K if it gets there. So, all right. Here we go. All right. We got the wheel. I'm going to switch to the page now. All righty. We got these packs. So I will rip this starter pack. I'll rip this fandom pack. And I'll rip this 24-plus playoff goals quest pack. How do we want to give these away, Jason? There's a lot of names in the wheel. I'm thinking maybe I spin the wheel before I open the pack. Or do you want to? I'll spin it on each moment. That'll be fun.
Yeah. I mean, that works.
I'll do
the
that.
Moments are numbered.
Yeah, I do that. So we'll start with the most exciting one, which is the Ice Station pack. Yeah, I'm never going to forget the irony of them giving us Ice Nation packs while saying, give these to your friends and family to onboard them, and then them turning around 4 months later and banning your friends and family.
Yeah. And in one of the messages that Jonathan sent to my wife too, it called that out. It was like, you may have redeemed multiple like fandom something packs, which I found weird because I'm pretty sure that this site doesn't even allow the same account to redeem more than one. So I found that one odd. It's like, they should probably take that one out. I don't think that's even physically possible.
You guys might find this hard to believe, but I actually really did give away my fandom packs to like people in alpha communities trying to onboard new users. I gave ones to my family because some of them. My dad was signed up at the time, or Rose, or one of them was, but I gave them away. But like I gave them to people, and it was like, "Hey, these are cool. You should get into this." And they all just said, "I'm not gonna lie." They all told me, "Tom, I don't really want these. Do you want the NFTs I pulled from it? Do you need any of them?"
Do you want that? Do you want to?
Not really. I think a couple of the guys gave me stuff and I traded them like a DAP or something. All right, hopefully you guys can all see this pack.
Sorry, I'm doing crazy deals over here.
My computer is so fucking slow.
You know, I'm glad that they're doing this trading event, but it's literally 2 hours. Like, we have 35 more minutes before this shit closes, and we cannot trade again until they like give us another window. This is intense, man.
Wait, have you been collecting these assets and now you're trading, or are you acquiring them now and trading them?
No, we've been. It's a super duper closed whatever pre-beta. So we've been collecting them for almost a year now. But this was the first opportunity. There's still no marketplace. There's still no buying or selling. But this was the first opportunity where you can actually trade. They actually leverage the evaluate.
Right now, you're getting the first fandom in this pack. Sorry, Jason, continue.
They're actually using the evaluate. If you're familiar with Dapper, you know the evaluate tool lets you move assets across different flow projects, and that's what Disney is.
It's funny. The evaluate tool is like, that would be something that would be really cool if we had it here with NHL Breakaway, but unfortunately we don't even have enough custody of the wallets to do it because like I can tell you guys because I'm about to launch it. I'm building a decentralized raffle platform, and I'll put you on there, both feet and bounds. I got a decentralized raffle platform I'm building where like anyone can raffle off anything, and you can't raffle off NHL items. You can raffle off Dapper, you can raffle off Bitcoin, you can raffle off a Rolex, you can raffle off any item you have, create your own raffle with a reserve price. So I'm hoping it's going to create a fun little economy for raffles and all that stuff. All right, next spin. And again, I am sorry, guys, for how slow my computer is. This is my backup computer because the other one is away at Apple getting fixed. I got both feet and bounds on there. I got you on there, my man. Who is it? Let's see.
Oh man. Hey, Consort is too funny. I don't know if he's watching the pod, but if he is, props. He's I'm doing this stupid Disney Pinnacle thing. My new friend PHLPRR is in there begging for pins too.
PHLPR is?
Yeah, and in the Discord begging for pins.
Shouldn't he be in the Discord running his fucking community and providing engagement?
Oh man, I gotta trade them pins.
Asshole. Athanasiu. Oh, a good cereal. 99's in it. Alrighty. So that one is going to right now. You won that guy. Alrighty. We're going to move on now to the next packaroni, which is going to be, you guys can see, this is my life with this computer right now. It is so fucking
rough. That's rough.
Dude, it's like a 2017, and I updated it to the new operating system, and it just like, it cannot handle, like I should close Discord out. That'll speed it up. I love Consorted. He's one of my favorite people in this project. Oh, I don't know if you guys know about this, but you guys want to hear something fucking absurd. Is Contrada won the Ovechkin puck from me, and I had to ship it to him in Canada. and I paid $40 to ship a hockey puck to Canada. That's not the scary part. That's funny. Ship a hockey puck to Canada to him. And then after they received it, they just left it on his front desk, and they sent him an invoice for $75 more for like all these fees. And so apparently, according to FedEx, it's $115 to ship a single hockey puck in a small bag to Canada. We're fighting the fee.
I feel like you got scammed there. That feels like a scam.
Yeah, I don't know where I got that JT Miller. I don't know, man. Look at this. Here's a serial number y'all will like. 69 Leon Draisaitl. Bam. At least I got the right serial there. All right, so we're gonna go to the we're gonna do the last two packs here. Our current Smegma champions. Are there any Smegma champions in the audience? Because I'm gonna add you to the. I'll add an extra name to the wheel if you're in the audience for this one. If you're a Smegma champ. Any Smegma champs in here? Oh man, you know what's to I know Brian's Smegma champ. I think Brian's where you want. All right, Roddy Booth. Grimes, you guys are going to get a second name, eat 2 extra names on the wheel here. Roddy Booth, and Grimes, Oh, I can't open Discord because it's too fucking slow, so I'll open it on my phone and check for any other Smegma champs. I think Squirrel Claw's Smegma reign is up. I believe Grimes. Who else is a Smegma champ? It's a very, very prestigious role. Bo Nose is one. I think his reign might be up, though. I just hadn't updated it. Oh, K-Bands. K-Bands is going to get an extra slot. And Patavalti. So, y'all know I love Patavalti. He's one of my favorite people in this project. I don't know what it is about that guy, that Finn, but he just cracks me up. So, and he also is one of the few people who's taken my DGen advice. And if he had put more money into it, he would have made a lot of money. So, Patavalti and K-Bands are each getting 2 extra names on the wheel here. I have said that I'm going to make something happen with XP. I can't promise it's going to happen tomorrow, but it's going to be something tied to XP. It might be tied to the 5th line. It might be tied to my site Daffle coming along, but I'm going to do something with that XP. So all that XP you earned, I stand by my word. I will get to doing something cool with it. Right now, I'm just kind of, this is the first day frankly speaking, the first day in 5 days that I haven't spent the whole day coughing up blood. So, all right. Here we go. We're on this pack. Let's go to the wheel. And I'm going to rip the pack and mute my screen for a moment. So you don't have to listen to the obnoxious sound that they don't let us have a mute button on, because apparently in their QA, no one actually tests how much they hate the sound. Man. You know, the funny, ironic thing about all this, Jason, is like in all these complaints and everything and all my frustration, I haven't said a word to Jonathan about anything that's going on because my account's fine. So I had not, unfortunately, all I can do is advocate for other people.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they extended the trading event by an hour. We got until midnight, guys. Let's go.
Also, if anyone in the audience here can find a single word in the terms of use that says anything about lending, I will literally, other than they have the word.
No, I mean, I think it's not in there, but they did, to their credit, they put it on the page. Like, it's in a different place. It just wasn't.
So here's something, Jason, you may not be aware of. Did you know that when you're a company and you legally update your terms of use in any way, did you know that you are legally obligated to notify your customers and that Discord is not considered an appropriate means to notify your customers? They're required to send an email to every single user saying we have updated any terms of use they update. They just have to send an email saying it. Then if you keep using it,
that's why I get all those annoying emails all the time from a million different companies every time they do it. Right. And then at the end of the year, when lots of them do an annual review, you get slammed with like 50 of them at the same time.
Has Sweet ever sent a single email notifying customers of any of these updates to changes in rules?
Nope, but fuck this stink bug that's like staring at me right there. You're an asshole.
I'm just throwing that out there to sweet. You know, guys, we want to like update your rules and change them. You got to notify people because, like, congratulations to one of my favorite people, Darwin. You're getting one of the first moments in this pack. You're getting the first moment in this pack here. Alrighty. Yeah, I just am saying that because, like, you know, we're worried about liability and stuff here. Like, kind of gotta, like, I don't know, do the law. All right, so here we go. Garland, you get the first moment, which is the best moment in the damn pack because this is the one from the original series. Who is it? Jonathan Cage. I don't think they put a single McDavid in these packs.
Nah, hell no.
All right, what cereal we got here? Let's see. 69 in it. Okay. That's a win.
Good.
All righty, moment number 2. Here we go. Here we go. It's a Smegma champ, Grimes. You're getting moment number 2 in the pack, my brother. Hey, Jason, you can see my screen, right?
Let me validate. I'm over here doing 50 million things.
On the right screen.
Yes,
right,
yes, we see the pack. We see the pack.
This is for you, my dude, Grimes. Logan Thompson. All right, Grimes, I'll give you 5,000 XP with that because Logan Thompson's a shit moment to pull. All right. Sorry, Logan, if you're out there watching.
Yeah, it's all right. His paycheck makes him feel just fine.
Oh, Logan Thompson or Grimes?
Logan Thompson.
Oh, yeah. All right,
Even
let's see.
NHL minimum ain't too bad. Yeah,
we got
this stink bug, dude. Get out of here.
Are you joking? Oh my God! I just realized that his name is not Rue Joking. It's Are You Joking?
I love it. I love it when I mean it's usually me who I realize shit like, but it's great when it happens to someone else. Yeah, that one I actually got. But like I know he's not an asshole for some reason. Every time I see it, though, I kind of feel like he's an asshole just because of the name. But no, he's a good dude.
No, he's a good guy. I've had a few interchanges, nothing major, but he's a good guy.
I appreciate that you never put the handle together until now.
Are You Joking? You got a Tyler Toffoli. We got the next moment.
What's a Rujikin? I've never heard of a Rujikin before.
Like a Street Fighter name, although I still open the 24 goals pack, so that's going to have some stuff that's nice to win in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's at least getting rares.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. Here we go. All righty, CRB. I reserve the right to decide to keep something from the pack if I pull something that I personally really like, guys. But I'll give it. I've had but like, I'm pretty.
I mean, we're talking T's and C's, isn't it? Isn't every contest when the guy talks really fast at the end? We reserve the right to replace the prize with a similar prize of equal value.
Yeah. Tommy Novak to CRB. Tommy Novak is not a great pull, so CRB, that's 5K to you as well. All right. And everyone here who doesn't win tonight, you're going to get 2,500 XP. Got to open the ticket for it. If you already have a ticket open, just use your current open ticket. I'll get on it. I'll be faster with stuff because I'm not like, running 100 fever anymore. All righty. Roddy Booth, you're going to get a fandom here. And again, I apologize for how fucking painfully slow my computer is. But guys, look on the bright side. You're not the ones who have to use this thing to work right now. Oh, man. This has been brutal. I had a few mints that I had to do, and I missed them. Oh, it's your boy Nick Dowd, Jason. You get to 35? All righty. Congratulations on a Nick Dowd. 2364. Who won that Nick Dowd again?
Trade me a Padma.
Oh, Roddy Booth. Roddy Booth, congratulations. You won yourself a Nick Dowd. Jason's a big Nick Dowd collector, so you got a trade partner in him there. Alrighty, the last fandom. Here we go, and then we're going to be on to the 24 pack, and then we'll wrap this podcast up. Alrighty. Oh, it's going to be Chia Pet, my dude. I love Chia Pet. Chia Pet, you have been such a great addition to our community. Thank you so much for being a part of this. You're one of the newer guys for a bit, but you've been around for a minute now. Good people. I like Chia Pet a lot.
Yeah, it's almost over.
Alrighty, here we go. Fandom, here we go for Chia Pet. William Carlson. Alrighty. Remember, guys, everyone here is getting, what did I say, 2,500 XP? So everyone's getting 2,500 XP unless I say you're getting something different. And I'm going to do a 10,000 XP spin and a new Smegma Champ spin at the end. So we got the last pack here. We're going to rip my playoff 24 goals pack.
Oh man, I'm gonna try to stick around because I want to see this pack, but my wife's, we're throwing a party. My daughter's turning 3 tomorrow. We're having a party here, so I got a little bit of work to do here tonight.
5 minutes. This is 5 minutes left. Alrighty, here we go. So here we go, guys. You can see this pack. Yes, I'm gonna hit the rip button here. We're gonna find out what's in it. I actually don't know what the contents of this pack even are. When I said I was gonna do a giveaway, I didn't know if this was like 7 cores, or I never checked the actual cores in this pack.
I think you're guaranteed at least 2. I think the worst pack has 2 rares, I believe.
Oh, really? All right. Well, then my pack will have 2 rares. It will be William Kai's. I know mine. I would like a Bedard. I haven't seen one of him in a while. Let's see what we got here. Two rares, what'd I tell you? No legendary. 2 limiteds.
Top God.
1 core. Alrighty, so we're going to start with the core and the fandoms and work our way up to the rares. So here we go. Let's spin.
Bam, let's do it.
These tabs, and here we go. This one is going to go to the High Flyer. Another one of my dudes. High Flyer is a good person. All righty. High Flyer, hopefully this is a flyer for you. Ooh, here we go. All right, Topo Chico. I like that. He's got you got a Topo Chico. I know it's Toropchenko. To pronounce a Russian name. Alexei Toropchenko. But Topo Chico is a funnier way to say it. So, all right, back to the wheel of names. We're going to spin again. This is going to be for fandom. Then we're going to get to the 2 limiteds and then the other one. So all that work I did for that reward pack, I'm just giving it back to you guys as a community. K-Bands, this one's for you. K-Bands, another dude, you know, I know you're not always chatting in the community, but you're here and you watch the podcast and you're appreciated. And you're a Smegma champ, so I'm always happy to see a Smegma champ win. So here we go. We're flipping this one over. I somehow managed to mute the screen, which is great. Andreas Athanasiou. It's going to be, let's get a good serial. Let's do like a number 1. 314, a 3-digit error. That's not too bad on a fandom. That's kind of cool. All right. I mean, it's like, you know, it's cool. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's okay. It's cool like when they give you an extra nugget in the box at McDonald's. All right, Roddy Booth. Damn, Smegma champions are just fucking cleaning house here tonight. All righty. We got another fandom right here. Let's go. Let's see what this one's going to be. It's going to be a Josh Morrissey. Damn, I couldn't even get a little Nylander. So. Numbers 44, 1142. So, Roddy Booth, you got yourself a few wins tonight. All right, we're going on to a limited. So let's see who's going to win a limited here. Let's see. We got a this limited is going to go to my man Brimes. That's 3 Smegma champ wins in a row. Let's just say I have a feeling that the Smegma spin is going to be one that people are going to be wanting to stick around for tonight. And again, guys, I'm going to give away everything from this pack most likely. If I pull like a Bedard or something, I might consider swapping something. That's kind of a bad few weeks, but Elias Pettersson, that's a good one. Nice. There you go. Congratulations on an Elias Pettersson. Maybe even would just give away the Bedard on it. What fucking cereal is it? 461. I saw the 4 and thought you were going to get a jersey. That would have been cool. All righty. So here we go. Another spin. Here we go. Here we go. Spin that wheel all around and around, and it's going to be my man Lassimo. Lassimo, great people. Another good dude, and also someone who deserves to win a moment because he was one of the ones whose family was affected by the attack by Sweet. So glad to see Lassimo get a win here. Here you go, Lassimo. This is a player for you. Like, I don't know what team he's a fan of. Dylan Larkin. Yeah, it could be worse. Could be worse. Number 71.
It's respectable. Yeah, give him a jersey.
Nice and shitty cereal.
Not even close.
We're on to a rare now. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. Who's going to get the rare? Who's getting a rare here? Let's see. And again, I do reserve my right to swap it for a rare. If it's a really good rare and I swap it, I'll still give you something good. Peter B, a.k.a. Cephas. And he changed his name, I think, because he didn't want to be confused with the notorious pack flipper, Peter Bondra. I'm going to just have the show that Cephas won so you guys know. Congratulations, Peter B. So here we go. Let's go. Let's see what this rare is. Are we going to see the arms open and wide for Connor Bedard? Charlie McAvoy. That's a pretty good. I love the Bruins, and I love my boy Charlie, although I do think that his moment should have been him laying a fucking pin or something. Although he had some pretty sick goals. He had a sick angle. Charlie's a good dude. That's a nice win. Congratulations, Peter B. It's painful for me to give up a Charlie. He's probably someone I would do a signature quest for if I could. So let's see what cereal you got. Number 34. Pretty good. Only 3 digits away from a reverse jersey. All righty. Now we got the final one. The final one. Here we go. This is one more rare, and it's going to my man King. Congratulations, King. All righty, King. And King is going to get, let's see. Oh, what is it going to be? Who will it be? Jacob Pelletier. Well, suffice to say, Sweet definitely made sure I didn't get the good reward back. But King, you won a Pelletier. Also, Dougie, I owe you a Pelletier. So, go back and watch go back and watch the beginning of this podcast. I would say this is the one podcast out of all the ones that I've done where I put a lot of time, thought into the discussion, and I'm hoping that I think it's worthwhile to listen to. Jason, maybe you disagree, but I think this is one podcast to go back and watch the discussion. It's a good one.
I just want to go back and watch it so I can see my cute little daughter because I love that little monkey.
You got a cute little daughter. I will give you credit. She is a little rapscallion.
She's the best. And then she turns 3 in an hour and 12 minutes. How about that?
All righty. So here we go. This is the last 2 spins of the day. Everyone's going to get 2,500 points on here as long as you open a ticket. This next spin is going to be for 10,000 XP. And the spin after that will be for our new Smegma champion.
Let's do it.
A lot of Smegma champions on tonight. Padavalti with the 10,000 points. Smegma champion hitting again. That's all they do is hit.
Pays to be the Smegma.
It pays to be Smeg. All righty. Now here we go. Smegma. God hope I ever get to meet him. Flying Finn. I think that's a worthy Smegma champ because now Patavalti and Flying Finn are Smegma champs. So they got a little bit of a Finnish Smegma coalition.
Holding down the country.
Oh man, Chia Pet, you got a 20-year-old daughter. But yeah, Bo, definitely check it out. I went on probably one of my more epic rants that I've had, I'll admit, but it was a few weeks in the making. Guys,
I do need to watch it because I was freaking distracted making trades on Pinnacle the whole time. So I did not give it the due diligence it deserves. I'll check it out myself.
Guys, do me a favor. This was an important podcast, in my opinion, because we are discussing things that have bigger ramifications than just NHL Breakaway and Sweet. So do me a favor, subscribe and like this podcast. Share it with anyone you think that might care about what we talked about here. These are points that I really, truly believe in fundamentally to my core. I want to thank you all for coming out. Everyone say bye to my mom. My mom's a good person.
Hi, Mrs. Els.
My mom is my mom's on a Discord. My name on Discord is someone else. I thought it was
I'm just making a stupid joke.
Typing, and my old name was is typing, and I changed to someone else's typing. But my mom, like this woman, let's get her back her account, her rewards. She, God knows, sat on the phone and worked through trades and sending me screenshots saying, do I have it right? And me snapping at her saying, hurry the fuck up and get this done. I'm tired. So I love all you guys. Thank you for sticking around. I know I haven't been as present lately because I was sick. But I am looking forward to seeing more of you around. Stay tuned to the server. I'll be dropping my new product website soon. And if you like Fifth Line, keep giving us feedback. As always, a tip of the cap, I think, Jason, to our man Jake for continuing to sidetrack himself from his real job to deliver a great website for us, and to take all my notes on it and always find a way to put them in, even when I give random notes that I don't understand. So Jake took a thing that I was like, let's build this, and I outlined what we wanted, and Jake he's a fucking champ. He's a dude. Jake is a good guy. You guys ever get a chance to meet him, if you haven't met him yet, good guy. So all of you have a great Friday night. I am going to coast on the fucking wings of the Valium I took an hour and a half ago onto my couch while I watch a good show. I need to find a new show to watch because I've run out of television due to the flu. So, Jason, I'm probably going to DM you asking for some good recommendations for shows.
Yeah, I'm trying to think right now. The last couple of things I watched were like, man. So I'll think a little hard. I'll come up with something.
I just finished Better Call Saul, which was beautiful.
I'm like halfway through that. I still have some meat left on that bone. Yeah, it's like I saved that one for when we really want to watch like a good show because it's top notch.
Fuck Chuck. Fuck his brother.
Yeah, what an ass, man. What an ass.
Oh, his brother's I just feel so bad for Stalin. All right, man. Guys, thank you for tuning in. You stuck around for a long time tonight. Like I said, smash that like button on this. Share this podcast. Saul is definitely a man who would have stood up and fought for the rights of his community. Swear to God that I will do everything in my power to always stand up for all of our rights as collectors here, no matter what, whether I buy packs or not. And I have not bought any damn packs this challenge. So I hope you guys have a good night. And Sweet, if you're listening, we want to resolve this. We want to fix this. We want to move forward. Let's try to figure out a way to make this project succeed with everyone together rather than in spite of it. Take care, guys.